Philadelphia. What a fantastic place to grow up in those formidable years between zero and when I left. I was still 17. Anyway, folks, Philly had it all. What? What do you mean by all? I asked myself. Well, Philly is a series of neighborhoods, sections. It was laid out by a forward-thinking guy by the name of William Penn back in 1681. And he brought his European influence from where he was born and raised from England to Philadelphia. Philadelphia was land of the Quakers and people who sought freedom of practicing whatever religion they wanted. And because William Penn's dad was owed a great deal of money by the King of England, he repaid his son by giving him what now is the state or commonwealth that is known as Pennsylvania in the U.S. So when I was born it was in 1946, just after the war, one of the beginning of the baby boomer generation, which I'm in the first wave of that. And I was born the last of three kids, an older brother, older sister, and then me. I came as a surprise, much to the chagrin of my eldest sister, who was promised a piano instead of a baby brother. That's a whole other story. So what made Philadelphia a great place to grow up, especially for me? Well, my street was like many, many streets in North Philly. It was lined by row houses, the kind of street that a lot of folks around the world who've seen the movie Rocky can remember about Philly. And that was a very typical form of architecture that came in from England. My house that I was born in was built in the late 1890s. So I began playing in the street with chalk, which was a lot of fun, playing street games such as Dead Box, which in New York it's known as Skelly. Elsewhere, maybe different names, Boston, so forth. And having friends along the street in these row houses, it was a very close-knit community. We played games, hide and go seek, all kinds of ball games with cut-off brooms, or there's broom handle, no longer held a usable broom, turned into a bat to hit a ball or a half ball. So that's one of the games that's unique to a couple cities in the East Coast to the Midwest is half ball. So having a background of being in the inner city, the interesting part of my childhood was that I had access around the corner to one of the largest city parks in the U.S., and that's Fairmount Park. This was a great place to do many after-school activities or weekend activities, climb trees, a river ran through it, ditch school, go fishing. There was the first public zoo in the United States in Philly, in Fairmount Park. We had a wonderful amphitheater called the Robin Hood Dell around the corner, which had regularly free symphonies and with guest stars that came from the opera and the classical field that are world known, with conductors invited in from everywhere. So that was an extra added benefit of the neighborhood that I grew up in called Strawberry Mansion, located in North Philadelphia. So in addition to that everyday life for a young person, it was unique in a couple other ways. That the location, which stretched back and was first recognized as a neighborhood, goes back to before the revolution that the U.S. had of independence back in the 1700s. Later, one of the first Victorian cemeteries located in the U.S., it's a historical monument now, called Laurel Hill Cemetery, was also around the corner. And so I had an opportunity to explore with my older brother the architecture, the art of a Victorian cemetery from my earliest memories. The benefit of being in and near a large public park gave the winters a magical experience. Had opportunities for, when it snowed, to sled down the various hills that were very nearby, within less than half a mile, and availed myself of being the youngest, my older brother's flexible flyer. Anyone who knows about sledding in the snow knows that the flexies, as they were called, were an invaluable resource that us kids utilized to have lots of fun in the snow, belly flopping and going down the hills of the streets where they were located in sections of Philadelphia, or in Fairmount Park, or some of the other parks that are located throughout greater Philadelphia. I availed myself of the experience of being a city kid, having a park nearby which was so large and filled with historic houses, estates, the Philadelphia Zoo, the exhibition neighborhood of the Fairmount Park, which hosted the 1876 centennial celebration of America, of USA, and other festivities that were remarkable. So it was a very convenient place to have a lot of fun, with a backdrop of history, nature, and wonderment. That's pretty much a background of my neighborhood and where I fit in growing up in Philadelphia. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that also. Thank you.